G'day and welcome to what happens in the shed. In this video, a different shed. Yeah, so currently the problem I've got is I'm running out of floor space. This is a Titan shed. It's 6 meters deep, 9 meters long, which is a good size, and ideally I got to stay within that. To extend this shed would be like an arms race. You make the shed bigger, you're going to keep filling it with more stuff, and in a few years time I'm going to have the same problem. Yeah, so the best solution is to move some of the stuff out of this shed, build another little lean-to. Rightio, well, I'll go and clear a bit of a pad for this new shed and we'll get cracking. So you've got to see this. This is an old caravan trailer. This actually came with a property. So it's an old caravan that was converted into a trailer. It's in pretty bad nick. It's pretty rusty and dodgy. Anyway, so I cut the arse end off it and put this IBC water tank on it. And I basically use it for carting around water. So if we come around the front here, I've got about 90 meters of 18mm or 19mm hose on it, and at the moment it's been parked up here, and that's because I cart it around the property wherever I need water. I used to park it up the hill, so I got a bit of water pressure, and when I was working on the driveway just down there, I just parked it up here and then run the hose down the hill, and then I got water pressure. Sounds like the next door neighbour is out with his chainsaw. Alright, so here we are. The formwork is in place. Now I didn't film this because it's not terribly exciting to watch. I've thrown in some steel, so the top steel I've tied together, and then down the bottom I've just thrown in some loose pieces of steel, and that's not tied in. And then for the vertical pieces, I've just got these pieces of rebar, and I'm just going to stick them down like so, keep the stuff together. They're not going to be tied in, but really they don't need to be. I mean, this is just a fairly cheap and cheerful lean-to. It's not a high-rise building, so yeah, this is more than sufficient. Rightio, well let's start mixing some concrete, eh? So I'm just bringing the bottom bit of rear bar off the ground. So I've just got it resting on top of the concrete I just chucked in. That's it, we're good to go. We'll keep chucking it in. It's starting to go off. Oh, I'm going to run out of time here. I just caught it. You can see this is starting to go freaking hard. I'm only just able to work it. Oh man, that was close. This end's alright, that's still fairly fresh. So it's a few days since the concrete pour. The concrete is hardening or setting nice. So I'm just going to take the formwork off today. We'll have a bit of a look, see how the pour went. I don't know what to say. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot better too. Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay, well, I thought I was doing a pretty good job at working it in, but obviously not good enough. The ones on the inside, don't bother me, you're not going to be able to see them. Some of the ones on the outside though, yeah, they don't look good, so I might just patch them up with a bit of grout or something like that. But other than that, look, it's plenty strong enough. Look, it's not a high-rise building, it really is just a cheap and cheerful lean-to. So anyway, we'll let this go off. It's been a week since the concrete pour, so I'm just going to fill the inside of this with dirt so I can pave the inside of it a little bit later. So I've just thrown some of my concrete rubble inside the thing just to help fill it up. Yeah, I thought it was a good opportunity to get rid of some of your rubbish, just bury it here. So I'm going to make things a little bit easier for myself. So I'm just going to use all the loose spoil that falls down along the embankments. So this stuff is shale rock. It's fairly weak rock, but it is a fantastic compactor. Yeah, so what we're standing on here is what we call the electricity road, and this is where our underground power comes up the hill. So along the embankment of our electricity road, all the loose spoil just keeps falling down. It just keeps on giving. So yeah, it's quite easy to dig up. It's been a week since I filled the footings with dirt, and since then we've had over 100 mil of rain, 4 inches, so it's compacted and settled down really nice. Yeah, so I went over it again with the plate compactor. So yeah, it's really hard now. It's good. Yeah, it's a good base. Oh, come on. That's it. Tell you what, when you reel the tape measure back in, you got to be careful. It's alright, it's only a flesh wound. So that's the bulk of the back frame done. It's the bottom plate, top plate, these are the studs, and this is a single piece noggin, all checked in and screwed in. All the joints are notched in or checked in like this, and that's just to stop it from twisting and warping. So this is green rough sawn hardwood, and if you don't do that, it's going to warp and twist like there's no tomorrow. Same thing goes with the noggins. So all that's left to do now is just the bracing. So I'm going to brace all four corners. For that I'm just using these. These are just a bit of leftover I've got. Bit of 50 by 25, or in the old measurement, 2 by 1. So yeah, I'll just do the four corners. Something like that. Same thing there, I'll check them in. That's not going to go anywhere. That's all I'm going to fit in today. We're beginning to lose daylight, so it's time to pack up. I've got to say though, the old way of framing, it takes a lot longer, and also it needs to be said, I'm not a chippy, so nice and slow is the way to go. Yeah, I really like it. I think it looks neat. One thing I overlooked when I cut the top plates for the gable ends is the top plate needs to be a slight bit longer because of the rake or pitch. Not by much, but still by a little bit. I think it'll be fine. I'll get away with it. I'm going to go for the same pitch as the firewood shed, since they're pretty much next to each other. Yeah, I think that'll work out just fine. I don't think it's going to be out by too much. Oh mate, look at this bottom plate, it's crooked as a dog's behind leg. Bit of persuasion is needed. No worries. Well, that's it for another day. I think it's afternoon tea time. Well, it still surprises me just how long it takes just to do that gable end. Like I said before, I'm not a chippy, so nice and slow she goes. Anyway. Shit. Oh, oh. That could have gone wrong. Rightio, well that's the other gable end up, so that went quite well. It's far easier than the first one. I've just screwed on some bracing, that's just to stop the top plate from flopping about. Also apparently there's rain coming, so it's also to stop the top plate from warping and twisting. Anyway, this will do. I'm going to park this up for a few days. My extended Easter break is just about over. I'm going back to work tomorrow, so we'll let the rain pass, and sometime next week I'll get back on this and I'll make a start on the roof. Alright, good-o. Well, that's that. That's the rafters on. So even though I did screw the rafters down, I'm still going to use proper strapping and tie down. So here's my collection of multi-grips, brackets and tie down. So I got these cyclone straps, they are left over from the house. So yeah, I can probably use those. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get away with not having to buy anything, so I'm going to make do with what I got. So that's pretty much the roof framing finished. All the bracing and blocking is all done. Now I didn't film that because it's not the most exciting thing to watch, and really it's more the same. When it came to the cross bracing, I didn't have any length of timber long enough, so I just did this simple joint here, and that worked pretty well. And it just meant that I didn't have to buy any timber. I was able to use what I had. I'm not really happy with the bracing situation. I would have thought with the cross bracing in the roof, that would have stiffened things up quite nicely, but obviously it hasn't. If you just push on it like that, it's not too bad. That's pretty good, but once you go like that, yeah, it just starts wobbling. Look, even though this is only a glorified garden shed, still, that's not good enough, especially when you consider that I'm planning on hanging a couple of barn doors here, and they're gonna, start pulling on this quite a bit. So yeah, I need to fix that. And just looking at where's that flex coming from, and it turns out it's coming from here. And I kind of knew there was a slight chance that this might happen, because you got your bracing here, and by code you're supposed to anchor down your bottom plate within 100 or 150 mil of your bracing here. Now I didn't do that because I thought, well, with this being a hardwood frame and it's a relatively small wall, I thought it should be stiff enough on its own, but turns out it wasn't. So yeah, check this out. Right, so I'm just going to push on the frame again. Now watch this. Well, there you go. That's your problem. So quick fix. Just a dyno bolt. They'll take care of that. Job done. No worries. Anyway, I think this video is probably getting a bit long, so I think we'll probably wrap it up here. So, in next video, I'll do the cyclone tie down. We'll sheet the roof and walls, do the door jamb, bit of a lintel here, and who knows, I might even get to fit in the barn doors. We'll see. Anyway guys, I hope this video wasn't too long or too boring. I didn't want to leave out too much stuff. So hopefully this video might be of some use to someone. Rightio, well cheers guys, thanks for watching, hope to see you in the next one.